The time has come. The tier list for the inferior M4, the M4A1-S. I'm going to treat this tier list a little bit differently than the other two. I have prepared every single skin ranked worst to best, and I'll be going through each tier and revealing as we go, and we will end with the top 10 best M4A1-S skins in the game. Now to start off, I'm going to speedrun the skins that should never have existed to begin with, so I'll go through F and D tier quickly. Now I recorded F and D tier on a different day, so if I change shirts, don't mind that. Starting off with the F tier. The Wash Me Please, Rose Hex, Mud Speck, Vera Camo, Blood Tiger. Moving on to the D tier, this includes skins like Flashback, Dark Water, Boreal Forest, Fizzy Pop, Guardian, Night Terror, Nitro, Moss Quartz, Atomic Alloy, and Briefing. Now we can get into the juice of the tier list, starting with the C tier. Now the Brightwater is going to start off our C tier. It has its niches. If you're rocking a blue inventory, this can go pretty well, which is the only reason that it's in C tier. I don't really like the Brightwater pattern in general, but the colors do go together. Next up in the C tier, we have the M4A1-S. This used to be the go-to budget green M4. I do believe it's been replaced, but we'll get to that in a bit. The dinosaur coming through the gun is a very unique effect, and I think it's pretty cool, but there isn't too much that this gun has going for it either. The control panel is another 3D M4A1-S skin, and it's not bad. It's kind of cool. I do like all the different lights and buttons, but it's still pretty bland. The Basilisk is a pretty cool design. I do think if the design was on a more colorful skin and it popped a little bit more, it could actually be S tier. I'm putting it in C tier just because it's pretty bland, but I do appreciate the design. Party Animal is a new pattern-based skin in the Harlequin collection. It's a very bright and vibrant skin. My main gripe with it is that there are so many bright skins and so many different patterns that it's just kind of too much. If it was one pattern with a bunch of bright colors or less contrasting colors with different patterns, then it could be a lot better, but I'm leaving it in C tier. For $7 factory new, the Glitch Paint is our first value for money skin. It has some cool colors. It fits in a lot of different inventories. I'm not a huge fan of the pattern, and I think the browns kind of take away from this design, but excellent value for money. The Electrum is another value for money skin, also $6 factory new. Unfortunately, we don't have any high tier green M4A1-S skins, but even for a budget option, this comes pretty close. I think it's super sleek. And I keep saying this in our tier list, but the Dead Hand Terminal just knocked it out of the park. Also a really good budget option, the Liquidation for $11 factory new. This skin contrasts blue and red quite well, and then it could fit in a bunch of different inventories. Also in C tier is the new Fatal Glitch, which came out in the Spytech collection. I'm only putting this here because of how niche the color is. This is a very difficult color to get a good combo with. The skin itself is actually decent, and I do like the fluorescent effect as you move around, but again, the color, it just isn't quite right for me. This concludes our C tier. Now moving on to our B tier, where skins start to get pretty good. The Cyrex is a decent skin. I feel like it doesn't really have business being a covert, but it is a sleek design, which is why it's our first skin starting off our B tier. The Mecha Industries is also a B tier skin for me. If you want a sleek white gun, everyone knows what a better option is. I think the skin is kind of clean, but it's not standing out in any way for me. Now this is going to upset a lot of people, but the Knight is also a B tier skin. It's just okay. If it was not a Dragon Lore trade up, it would be a very cheap skin. Now the pattern and the accents that it has are nice, but that's all I can say about this skin. I don't like the base color, and there's just so much more that it could have going on for it, especially on the main part of the gun. The Solitude is another good budget option, a pattern-based skin. It's a very flexible skin. If you want more of a white aesthetic, you can have a cloud-based skin. If you want a more of a yellow or red aesthetic, you can have the sunset in the middle. If you want green, you can have the mountains. So you can kind of customize the skin a lot, which is why this is going into the B tier. The leaded glass is a cool aesthetic for a skin. I think orange and blue go together very well. That being said, it's still just an okay skin, so it's staying in the B tier. Another controversial B tier skin is the Imminent Danger. There's just too much going on this skin. It has every color imaginable. It has just so much text. I could never really understand the hype for this skin. I think it's just a B tier skin. The Stratosphere is another good budget option if you want a blue or purple inventory. The stars are a really nice addition, plus everyone knows the best craft on this skin. That alone puts it to the top of B tier. Before we move on to the A tier, comment down below your top 3 favorite skins, and also let me know what you'd like to see next. Also be sure to check out my music channel, The Bass Alchemist. I will link it down below in the comments. I'm going to be posting on both channels pretty regularly, so stay tuned for some fun stuff. Our first A tier skin is the M4A1-S Nightmare. This has potential to be S tier, but 2 things hold it back. The first being the wear. This is a factory new skin, and the top of it just has so many scratches. Now the second thing holding this back is just how dark the center is. It has a lot of good light blue, but you don't see a lot of it when you're in idle. It's only when you inspect that you get the whole effect. But when you're holding it normally, a lot of the pattern is just hidden from you. Our next A tier skin is the Welcome to the Jungle. Again, this is another skin that has potential for S tier, but the center of the skin is just too muted. If the snake popped a little bit more, and in the middle where the colors meet, it was a little bit clearer, I think this could be easily a top 3 skin. But as it is, I have to put it bottom of A tier. The Print Stream is another A tier skin. If the pearlescent effect was as good as CSGO, this would be S tier, but it is not nearly as good as it used to be. I think it's a solid skin, I just don't think it's one of the top. The Masterpiece. There are some people who swear by this skin. I do like the center design, but the edges of the skin and the blue background just make it seem like something's just painted on, and just because of that, it can't be a top tier skin for me, but I do really like the color palette. The Decimator is a very underrated skin. I don't see this enough. I think the pattern is very cool. I think it's very shiny. I do really like the colors. Great budget option. Just a solid skin. We are now coming to our top 10 M4A1Ss. At number 10, we have the best budget option of the M4A1Ss, the Black Lotus. Just absolute beautiful artwork. Very nice purple option. No one can deny that this is a top tier skin and top tier value for money skin. For under $14 factory new, this is the best option that you can get. Number 9, we have Player 2. This is another skin that I don't see enough. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Again, orange and blue just pair so well together, and this artwork is stunning. At number 8, we have the Blue Phosphor. This is just the Electrum, but blue. But the reason that this is a lot higher than the Electrum is just because more of the skin is covered by the blue. You have potential for nice crafts. You have potential for nice combos. The skin is pretty clean. We have the Chantico's Fire. Now, the pattern is really cool. The colors are really cool. If you like bright skins, this is just an amazing choice. It's just an absolutely gorgeous skin. At number 5, we have the M4A1-S Fade. Now, I used to own a Fade. There was a time where this would have been higher for me, but seeing the value of this skin just absolutely plummet has been so depressing that I can't put it higher personally, although it is still one of the best M4 skins in the game. Now, starting off our S tier, our top 5 skins in the game, we're going to start with the Golden Coil. Stunning artwork, stunning gold. The scale design along the gun is just absolutely immaculate. My main issue with this skin, in the middle of the gun and on the stock of the gun, you can see some weird pixels. It's as if someone in Photoshop just forgot to clean up the edges. So this can't go higher for me, but the design is still absolutely stunning. Number 4, the Vaporwave. Covert from the gallery case, this is just such a nice color palette with a clean design on it. I think it could go into a lot of different inventories. Such beautiful artwork. And it gets extra points for the design at the back of the gun that you see when you're just using it normally. Coming in at number 3, we have the Hot Rod. Now this is probably best when you get it super low float so you don't see the scratches, but the shininess of the skin is just absolutely gorgeous. You can do some cool crafts on this with some nice red stickers. Just all in all, clean skin. At number 2, the Hyper Beast. I have a soft spot in my heart for this skin. It's super nice, super clean. And the best part of the skin for me is that a lot of the design you can see while you're just normally using it. You don't have to inspect to get the full effect. Our number 1 M4A1-S skin in the game is the Icarus Fell. This is assuming that you have a good pattern on the skin, but the bright blue just screams high tier. The feathers are also just a really cool texturing effect on this skin. You can get all kinds of really cool patterns on this skin. For me, Icarus Fell is the best M4A1-S skin in the game. This is our final tier list. If you enjoyed and want more, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, yada yada yada, all the YouTuber things. Make sure to let me know what you'd like to see next, if you like this format more than the others, and also be sure to check out The Base Alchemist. I have been Blind Thief. Bye bye.